Bladeseed Studios come back at you with another video. Today we are going to be doing a Minecraft hardcore let's play. I actually died in my previous world, I lost the world, so yeah, here we are. We're gonna start this gameplay right off of going into this village that I spawned right on, which is absolutely amazing. I ended up blocking in a villager and collecting some berries, and then of course go and punch some trees because we're gonna need our wooden tools and our basic crafting table. I just want to take a moment to actually really appreciate the fact of how this village is set up. It's got some beautiful campfires around, and like just the design of villages is so much different nowadays. I ended up finding a house that's right on the water and decided to go ahead and set up camp. I stole the goodies, put down 2 beds, and put the goodies back in the chest because there's no need to carry them around. And then I ate some berries and made some wooden tools. I put a button on the outside of my door as well, and then I decided to get chopping down on some trees. I decided to cut down a very small amount, but just enough to get by. Then I decided it would be a good idea to get a little bit better basis of my surroundings, just because I wasn't sure what was around, because I immediately just started staying in the village. I found another village, and the first thing I come across is a trapped cat that stole all of my fish. I collected some barrels that I saw and kept exploring the village. Eventually I got to the point where I found this absolutely baller chest that had 3 iron pickaxes in it, which was a godsend. I did indeed steal the blacksmith table, and then I found some more berries, and then I found this little cave next to the berries. There was like literally nothing in it. It was a water cave, but I did get my first few pieces of coal, which were a pain in the ass since I was mining underwater, but hey, you do what you gotta do sometimes. I made a little air pocket and got all of it. I made my way out and ended up killing a couple animals, collecting some pumpkins, and continued proceeding forward around the village. I did find another cave that was around here, but it was another water cave. But there was some coal in the wall, so I made sure to grab that real quick. Once I was done grabbing that, I ran back towards the village to see if I could find anything else, and I ran into my first mob. It was a skeleton, and let me tell you what, skeletons with no armor is terrifying. So I ran into the closest house and ate up to get my health back, and then decided to not deal with the skeleton. I decided to go running all the way back home to where my bed was, because I did not want to deal with that. It was a little bit hectic. I had to jump in the water and escape through the river because there were some spiders, but eventually I made it back home. And I got my achievement, Sweet Dreams. When I woke up, I said hi to the villager, and he nodded his head back and forth a few times, and then I went out and started exploring the village a little bit, kind of trying to figure out what I was going to do. Saw a couple animals, took them out, and then I started going on another adventure. I found some more coal, a dog with no bones, and a little bit of sugar cane, so that'll be important. I found a cave that had a little bit of coal in it, but I really haven't found any major caves, which is kind of poop. Every time I saw some animals, I ended up trying to kill some, like these fish. And come to find out, there was a cave literally right next to the village. It was not a very big one. There was a fox inside of it that I fed some berries to, a couple pieces of iron and some coal. Ended up planting some sugar cane, going home, and putting away all my goodies that I collected from this day. I planted some berries outside, and then I went and ended up collecting some more wood because I was already pretty low at this point, even though I didn't do too much yet. I haven't done no building. At this point, I'm also trying to clear out the village, so I have a little bit more room to build and have a little bit more creativity. And also, I decided to light up the entire area because if I didn't, it would just be a mob fest super quick, and I'm not used to playing hardcore, so I would really enjoy not dealing with a boatload of mobs. Speaking of mobs, I ran into 2 baby zombies that were absolutely terrifying, and I don't ever want to deal with that again. I ran home and went to bed, which I didn't know that you could go to bed around baby zombies. And speaking of boats, I decided to do some more exploring, but towards the ocean. I ended up finding a ruined nether portal. I went down and got some gold horse armor and some flint. Nothing too fancy. It's kind of a bummer, to be honest. I went back to shore because I was already sick of the sea and found this ginormous hole in the wall. I got an absolute boatload of coal and decided that this cave was not big enough for me. It really wasn't that big, so I ended up exploring outward again, coming across a cherry blossom grove, which I really wanted some cherry blossom wood because it's one of my favorite woods to build with, so I decided to run over it. On the way, I found some pigs, so I got some bacon, and then I got to the cherry blossom grove. I chopped some wood, made sure to get a few saplings, and then I saw so many animals down in this little area. I decided that I had to run down, and I absolutely slaughtered everything down here. Pigs, sheep, cows, chickens, all of it. All of it was down there. I was down there so long, it became nighttime, and while it was nighttime, I ended up finding this ravine, and I hopped right down in it because I really wanted more ores, because I really didn't have much other than a little bit of iron and a lot of coal, surprisingly, even though coal is like so rare at this point, because when you're mining for diamonds, you just can't find it. I ended up crafting a bed and sleeping through the night, and when I woke up in the morning, there was a baby zombie on the other side of the ravine trying to absolutely kill me. So I decided to run away, and I went up towards the cherry blossom grove because I wanted some more wood. I killed a few more animals that were pretty close to the cherry blossom grove, and then all of a sudden I found this ginormous ravine. So I decided that I wanted to mark it, so I built a little arrow pointing in the direction of my house, and then I went back down exploring. This cave looked a lot more promising than all the other caves. It was just massive. So of course I went straight to mining, getting all the coal, all the iron, all everything. So as much as I could find, I would be getting it. I really loved the Caves and Cliffs update. It added so much oomph to the caves, but at the same time, it's also terrifying because every cave is just so massive at this point. I mean, you find the small ones, but not very often. While I was exploring, I ended up running into a creeper, and this absolutely terrified me because I had no armor, so I took it really easy, and then I just proceeded to keep mining as much ores as possible. Ended up slipping down off this block and dropped to half a heart. I thought my hardcore world was done when I dropped from that distance. I quickly, not so quickly, built a little cave house and crafted some furnaces to get some iron and some food cooking. I was definitely going to need it if I was going to survive this deep dark cave, and then I decided to craft some armor to help protect at least a little bit, some leather booties, a shield, and an iron helmet. I also ended up making a chest plate because I heard some mobs outside, so I wanted to be extra careful. I ended up taking out the zombie that was outside and lighting up the entire cave around my area as much as I possibly could. Then I got straight to collecting ores because ores are what we need. Ended up finding some glow squid, which is pretty cool because you can make the new signs with that. I haven't really done too much with the new signs, but I know that they can get pretty fancy. I proceeded to keep mining a bunch of ores, and I ran into my first diamonds, which was absolutely amazing. It felt great, so I decided to create a diamond pickaxe because I did in fact find 3, which was amazing. I feel like diamond veins just aren't as big as they used to be, but at the same time, you can still find some that are massive. I ended up battling a zombie and a skeleton, finding more diamonds, finding more iron. I'm just very thankful for all the diamonds. They were just back to back to back to back. I don't even know what level I was mining on, but they were just on the surface of the cave walls, which was just amazing. After I mined a few more ores and found a few more diamonds, I decided to go back up to the surface. I wanted to run back home, and as I was running back home, I made sure to torch a path so I knew exactly where this ravine was. I haven't had the capability of creating a map yet, and as I got home, I ended up seeing 2 villagers just become big villagers, which was really cool, to be honest. I don't think I've really seen that happen before while playing. I ended up throwing all my goodies that I collected into the furnaces and into my storage barrel, and it was a pretty good haul. It was a decent amount of diamonds, a good amount of iron, some coal, a little bit of everything, which is really nice. I then decided it would be a good idea to craft some iron axes and go mining trees because I needed a lot of wood for all of my builds. So I just chopped and chopped and chopped and chopped and chopped until I had enough wood to start doing my build. Speaking of builds, we are going to jump right into creating my first starter house. I am going to create a little mushroom style house. I figured it would kind of go good right underneath this tree, so I went and used some birch planks and some stripped logs of birch variety to create the bottom. And then I decided to use some cherry blossom wood for the mushroom top, and then I started adding in my little details after the fact, adding in some lanterns, a couple little trapdoors to make flower beds, and some other little small details like leaves and chains. I wanted this house to have a little chimney instead of windows here, so I made sure to add that and added some more details using leaves. And now we are going to add some quartz to the top of the mushroom to make it actually look like a mushroom instead of whatever. I finished off the chimney while I was up top the mushroom and made sure it looked real good. Then we move inside, we take out this wall, add in a couple stairs, add in a ceiling, which isn't really a ceiling, it's just the second floor. Added in a smoker, a couple furnaces, a bed, and a couple small details like a chain with a lantern. This is what the house looks like from the outside. I thought that it turned out pretty good, to be honest. The shaders definitely make things pop out a little bit better. And this is what the inside looks like. It's pretty basic, but it's just a starter house. And then there's going to be an enchantment table up here. But anyways, I'm Bladeseed Studios. Thanks for watching my Minecraft video. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'm out.